And remember, you can always stay ahead of the weather with the WUSA 9 app. You can download it by pointing your phone's camera at that QR code on your screen. In the app, you can get hour-by-hour forecast, alerts for your neighborhood, and track the radar.
This week, Congress is expected to vote on a bill that D.C. officials say would cause financial chaos for the city. This Republican measure would block D.C. from opting out of the Trump administration's federal tax cuts.
Yeah, so officials say if the measure passes, the district would lose $600 million in revenue, forcing cuts to crucial programs for D.C. residents. Our Rafael Sanchez-Cruz is covering this for us tonight. And you know, Rafa, this feels very familiar.
Deja vu, some would say, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so last year, D.C. battled with Republicans in Congress over spending district funds. And we're back at it again, but this time this money isn't even in the bank for the district. So how did we even get here? Back in November, the D.C. Council voted to divorce the city from President Donald Trump's federal tax cuts in the One Big Beautiful Bill. So did about a dozen states. The D.C. Council thought this was a way to get more revenue as the city sees the impacts of the Trump administration cuts to the federal workforce. Now, this move freed up more than $600 million through 2029, and about $239 million would be used for D.C.'s child tax credit. That would give families up to $1,000 per child depending on household income. Now, the D.C. Fiscal Policy Institute says D.C. could also be looking at cuts to education, first responders, and human services. Now, Republicans on Capitol Hill say the council's decision is a blow to D.C. taxpayers. Democrats say the Republican bill is yet another intrusion on D.C.'s autonomy that could cost the city millions. Today, we heard from Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton about this bill. It's also the first time we've heard from her since she announced her retirement from Congress.
That is not oversight. That is not governance. It's sabotage, and the damage would be severe and intentional.
Congress passes laws for the federal tax code, but states get to decide what their tax code looks like. And the same should be true of the District of Columbia without Congress coming in and trying to Bigfoot their decisions.
But they're preventing D.C. residents from experiencing the full benefits of the Working Families Tax Cuts bill. It's almost unimaginable that they would inflict that pain upon their own constituents, but that's what they're doing.
The House is expected to take up this bill later this week. The Senate has scheduled a committee vote tomorrow, and if that clears, that means it could go to a Senate floor vote. To pass, Republicans only need a simple majority. Les Lorenzo.
Yeah, this is, as you said, Zoe, deja vu all over again.
Sounds like D.C. residents will end up paying more in the long run, so one way or another.
Right.
All right, thank you, Rafa.